Welcome to my first live in a while. It has been a number of months since I have done a live. I think May was the last time I did it. We've had a lot going on with Stamp Anything, but we are back doing some lives again. So I'm just going to wait for some friends to pop on, and then we'll start chatting. And while we're waiting, I am going to get my stuff ready. All right. Let me just get the iPad all loaded up. Hello, Joyce. How are you? Let's just see if we can get this. Let me just get out of Stamp Anything. Oh, hi, Kevin. All right, there, this is on. All right. And I see Valerie's here and Annie is here. Hello, hello. All right. So I have most of the release. I do not have the stencil, but this is this month's release. And it is called Hey Buster. So this is the stamp set. Let me just put it behind some white paper. So do we know what who you're coloring yet? I haven't decided yet. You haven't missed anything. So okay. So this is the stamp set. We've got 3, 4, 5 adorable images and a little sub image. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentiments. And the sentiments are, you've got the proton pack to my heart. Thanks for busting in to save the day. Totally ectostatic to see you. You have a lot of spirit. Caution, sweet but destructive. So that is our stamp set for this month. Then we have a builder die, which is an awesome city skyline. And you know, this would be awesome to build one of those staged cards, you know, that fold flat but pop up. This would be cool to use as a backdrop. And then you have the Ecto 1 builder die, which is really cool. And then, of course, we have all of our coordinating outline dies to go with this month. And what I love is there's even dies to cut out the sentiments. Those are great. Hello, Susan. Hello, Jana. Yeah, and there's also a stencil, which is really cool. I do not have that. So I know in the comments, sorry, oh my gosh, all these comments, what's going on? I know in the comments in Facebook, I think people wanted me to color this guy. So let me know who you want me to color. Hello, Betty, how are you? So I think this guy would be fun. And this guy would, well, they're all like, look at the face on him. They're all just, they look just adorable. But, you know, he's got glasses, which would be fun. So let me know. I'm thinking of coloring him and Slimer. I think, is this Aegon? I think. I'm really bad. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie. But yeah, so let me know. Oh, do I see? Hello, Timothy. How are you? Yeah, so while we're waiting to decide on a character, if we are in fact going to color him, I thought I'd go over. First off, thank you for everyone who purchased my stamp sets and stuff that are coming out for my class. I thought I would just go over that while we're waiting too. So if you got the bundle, you have the arcane impression. So this is a class I'm going to be teaching over 3 different weekends. It's going to be mixed media focused. So not as much on the coloring, but more mixed media, because I've had so many people ask me how I create my backgrounds and all that. So that's kind of what this class is going to be about. That's coming up in October. So this is the Arcane Impressions stamp set. Super detailed, lots of cool, ghoulish images. And there is coordinating outline dies, which I love. And you can see I've been using mine and playing with it already. So all of these have coordinating outlines if you decide to purchase it with it. And then there is the Toil and Texture set. And this one has awesome sentiments, lots of texture, living up to Toil and Texture. And then these precious here, oh my gosh, I love them. So this is the Toil and Texture stamp set. And there is coordinating dies that cut out the sentiments, and they cut out these texture pieces if you want to use them. So that is the 2 stamp sets part of the bundle. And what I'm really excited about is our memory decks dies that if you bought the bundle, you'll have gotten these, but you have, I believe this is a bundle, and this is made to make a pocket. And then this is made to either inset in here to make a layered piece, or you can also have it make a pocket on the back. So that is the 1 die set, and then this is your basic memory decks die that you can just get this as well. So you have your basic memory decks with an arch top, and then this piece is really cool. This turns anything into a memory deck. So you cut this out, it folds in half. So just say you've got, we all get cards from friends and that. Just say this is a card you got. You can cut out this die, fold it over the card, turn it into a memory deck so you can keep it. Little things like that. Or your memory decks over time from taking it in and out gets worn, you can cut it out, fold it, and repair your memory decks. So that is the bundle. I think I'm starting that the first weekend in October. And then if you got the bundle, the first 20 people, I think, got this acrylic block. So yeah, so this set or class, it's just going to be mixed media focused. It's going to be really fun. We're going to go outside the comfort zone, use what you have as far as, inks, texture paste, paints. We're going to use it all, but don't feel pressured to buy all that stuff. It's just going to be a fun, inspiring couple of weeks. So now I'm going to go to our monthly release. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. I think everybody said Aegon, right? Aegon, yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Jana, love the nails. Thank you. They are in need. I go tomorrow morning because they are way too long and it's been a month. They're disgusting right now. They'll look better tomorrow. And I think I'm going to be theming them for teaching my class. Let's see. All right. And I am not showing you what I've made so far because it's they're samples, and I want everybody to be surprised. But I will say I am not making a background tonight, but we're going to, in my class, I'm going to be showing you how to make backgrounds like these. So a lot of these were done using a gel plate, inks, sprays, texture paste, all sorts of fun, good stuff. So we will show that over the coming weeks. And if you didn't buy the set, you'll be able to watch it live on the Stamp Anything YouTube channel. And trust me, if the bundle is still available to purchase at the bundle price, grab it while you can. I think you will want it, but if you just want to tune in and be inspired, you're more than welcome as well. Let's see. Hello, Karen. How are you? All right. Well, let's get started. So we're going to color these two guys. So I'm going to just grab out my Misty, and I am going to pop a piece of paper down. And yes, dig out that gel plate, Betty. They are so fun, and I was in such a creative funk a couple months ago, and I just made gel prints just for fun, and it really got me inspired to just create again. So we all go through those periods where we're not feeling as creative. Okay, so I'm just going to get these images primed. Just rubbing them with my finger. Gotta grab my ink. Sorry, I am not as prepared tonight. Yeah, I love making backgrounds. I love coloring, but I'd say right there behind is I love just playing with inks and paints and texture pastes, and I feel like a mad scientist when I'm doing that. Let me just, I'm gonna have to stamp this a few times. I did not get his eyes inked up. Ask me where I put my backgrounds. We did, Stephen. No, oh yeah, I forgot about that, Anne. Gosh, that felt like a lifetime ago. Oh, and I will say, if you are taking my class, I grab some. I'm going to show you this here. This is my favorite mixed media paper, Strathmore mixed media paper vellum surface. Grab a sheet of this. You can get, or a pack of this. There's 15 sheets. You are never going to, you're not going to run out of it anytime soon. Like I take the sheets, cut them down into panels. This will be good for ink smushing, all that stuff. And then as far as paints and stuff, I just used like not a printer paper. This is about a 80-pound bright white smooth cardstock. So like hammer mill or whatever, use that. But yeah, sorry, back to getting distracted. With the Dex cards, do you put them on cards or an actual Rolodex? No, I will show you. So they all fit. I have this little thing here, and like they just fit right in. This one was made using the die. It's gonna be fun. I love memory decks, and I use my memory decks more for memory keeping. I know some people just make memory decks to make memory decks, and that's totally cool too. Sometimes you might just want to, you know, have a memory decks for techniques. Wouldn't that be fun? Like creating showing how you did, wet on wet with distress ink or dry ink blending and then smooshing it, just different things. So Memory Decks has so many possibilities, and I know it was really popular years ago, but I think it's really coming back. Um, do you ever use copy paper for prints with your gel plate? I have. Now because I like to use mine on cards or for die cutting, so that's why I like to have a like an 80-pound cardstock. So it has a bit of thickness to it, so I can die cut out of it, layer with it. So you certainly can use a printer paper, but I just like a bit of a thicker paper for what I do. Where did you get that box? Oh my goodness, where did I put that? It was my friend Joyce, who is on here, got it. I think they were discontinued, but maybe we can convince Anne, if this memory deck stuff, people really enjoy it, maybe we can get Anne to make us some memory decks boxes out of wood, because she has the technology. All right. Sorry, we have been like 16 minutes in and I haven't even started to color. I am sorry, guys. Hello, Brennan. How are you? Okay, let's zoom in. Okay. See if I can get this. Sorry if I'm making you all sick. Just got to get this set up. Okay. And what is this doing on here? Okay. Let's move this forward. Okay, I just need to, can everybody see okay? Let's see. And I just refilled all my markers because Kevin was filming his classes. And a lot of the markers were dry. Okay, so for skin, I do not like how this angle is. I hope this is, I don't know, maybe I need to be up. Sorry for moving it around. Okay. So I'm going to start with E04, and we're doing his skin. So I'm going to color what would be the shadow or darkest areas. So just using the very tip of my marker. I am going to do around his eyes with the E04. So what did you guys all think of this release? Did you love it? I love Halloween, which is funny because, I don't love the Ookie Spooky Halloween, but I love Ookie Spooky Halloween card making. It's just, I don't know, I love the look of it. Okay, so I am, maybe we'll do give him a bit of a dimple down here. We'll go along the sides of his chin here, or cheek, sorry. Okay. And I think I also want to go under his eyebrows as well. So that's E04. Love this release. Yay. I love it. Can't wait until mine arrives. Joyce, I cannot wait to see. I bet you're going to bring it when you come and see me. It's in 2 weeks, I think, right? E11 is our next color. And I'm going to go over top. Now I should say I love this month's release. I cannot wait for next month's. And I am not being I'm not trying to be a tease, but I have a feeling that one is going to be our most popular release of the year. I think everybody's going to go insane. And you'll know, remember I said that? You'll know I think I'll be able to hear the screams when people open their stamp club next month. Okay, so I'm just going over the E04 with the E11, and I'm just running the very tip of my marker over top of the E04 until it starts to blend and meld. I'm gonna go right under the lips. I know this stage always scares a lot of people because it's so dark. If Kevin were the one live, we'd figure out the next release. Yeah, he's not so subtle, is he, Brendan? Karen, such a cool release. Glad Winston is a digital plus getting the Marshmallow Guy. Yes. Yeah, so don't forget to download if you're in Stamp Club. You get the free image this month. So still with the E11. No, I just think next month is it's going to be, it's close to a lot of people's hearts. I'll say that. I think I need to replace the nib on this one. So this is E21. And I'm just still going over top of all of our previously colored lines. And I'm just starting to kind of build the shape of his face. Hello, Trey, how are you? And thank you. I said earlier, my nails will be getting a Halloween refresh tomorrow. Much needed. Okay. I think I'm going to just color in the rest of his ears with E21. And then I'm going to go in, oh, I have two ones, okay. I'm gonna go in with E00 next. And this is when I kind of start to make my lines a little thicker, focusing on trying to blend. So I'm just kind of working these colors, going into what I previously colored. Then I'm going to go to E000. Yeah, Betty, you'll know any day. So this is E000. Just going to work in the center. And then I'm going to go in with quad. Hello, Melissa. How are you? E000 right on his schnozola. I'm just kind of softening any areas that need softening. Then I'm going to grab an R20 if I can find it. There we go. Oops, that's an R000. I want this one. R20. Oh my gosh, I keep pulling the wrong end off. And I'm going to go right under his glasses here. Give him a little rosy cheek. And I am going to soften that with the E000. Just the edges right here. Go back in right here just to darken that. And then I'm also going to go along his hairline and just emphasize that cast shadow, his inner eyes. And ears. All right. And then I am going to do his glasses. So I'm going to just pull some colors. I think I'm going to do B04, B02, 1, and 000. All right. So I know we did the shading on his glasses and we'll lose some of it, but with B04, I'm going to color just the bottom here. Okay. Just with B04. Then I'm going to go in with B02. Melissa, not feeling super creative lately, so I lurk in video lives. Hey, I am in the same boat. I was going super creative hard this summer, and you know, the last couple of weeks I've just been creatively burnt out, which that's okay. We can't be creative all the time. We just got to ride these waves when they come, and they will come. They'll come back. So B01 is what I'm doing next. And then B000, I'm just going to go in a circle. And then once I've got my centers filled in, I'm going to just go around the rest of the glasses. Then I'm going to go back with my B02, not the 4. And just re-emphasize the bottoms of the glasses and his whites of his eyes. Okay. And then we'll add some, well, for example, we could go in, this is a bit soon to do this, but I like to go in with a colored pencil and add detail. We'll just do that now. I'm going to go in. This is close enough. This blue. I feel like I'm all over the place tonight. And we can do the same by the rim, or right by his whites of his eyes. All right, but I'm gonna add white and stuff to that after. So his hair is like a brown color. Valerie, amazing how he just came to life with that coloring. Ah, thanks. Oh, and you know what? Let's color his hands too, because for a second I was thinking he was wearing gloves, but we're gonna have him just, Lena, shush. Sorry for anyone who has a dog. Your dog's probably barking now. E04, E11, and then I'm gonna skip right to E00. And that's all I'm gonna do on his little hands. Stephen, when you do an image live, did you already color one and figure out the colors, or do you just work them out during live? I am coloring this the very first time. I haven't done anything with this set, so this is my first time playing with it. I don't know if you heard me say, I don't like doing things twice. And when this set, I am the type of person, when we're done with it, I don't want to look at it again for a while. I'm over it. That's bad that way, I know, but I'm just always on to the next. I go hard with my images and then I'm on to the next. So for his hair, let's pick some browns. Let's try, well, why don't we try these three here? E59, E27, no, that might be, yeah, why don't we try? So 59, E27, and E25. And I think we're gonna need maybe a bit of E49. So let's see if I can find E57. Where are you? Oh, there's E57, 27, and 25. And I just love playing with color. So I don't take it too serious. It is only paper. If it doesn't turn, but this is the thing with Copics. You can make anything work with Copics. Why can I not find an E25? Okay, well, if I can't find it in 2 seconds, we will pick another color. So E25, what's something else? So let's do E35. If I can even find that. And then a little E49. And that's a potent, where is E49? Okay. Yeah, Anne is the same way. Well, thank you, Karen. Oh yes, Susan, you can hear little Lena, my barking. Okay. So I'm going to start, I'm not going to start with my E49 just yet. I'm going to start with my E57. So E49, E57, E27, E27 and E35 are what we're going to go with. So I'm going to start with my second darkest, E57. And you've probably heard me, I'm going to just pick a section of hair. I'm going to start with this one. And I just do my little flicks, break it, break the hair into sections. And this is quite some bodacious hair, so I'm going to break it, do lines, a little longer lines than I normally would do. And you just always want to make sure you break up your lines. Don't have all your lines the same length. So that was E5/7. Now I'm going to go to E2/7. Yeah, Kevin says he's hidden no marker from me. I couldn't find my E25. But Kevin has been doing a lot of coloring lately. Okay. And E35 is going to be my lightest color. Trey, super excited for your craft along series. Yay! I'm so glad you're joining, Trey. I'm excited to do it too. So I have some white there. That's fine. I'm not coloring it yet. I'm going to go into the big scary E49, and this is a very potent color. So I'm just going to go in the very bottoms of the hair, each hair piece, and add a little bit. So that was E49, and I'm going to go back for my second layer now, E5/7. And while the E49 is still kind of wet and workable, I'm going to pull and drag that color out. So that was E5/7. Now I'm going to go to E2/7. And E3/5. And I'm just going to connect and close off. Now, I don't know if I like this Copic combo. I feel like the 2/7 and the 5/9 are a bit too similar. So I think, wonder what E4/7 would do. Let's try this out. That was E4/7, and I'm going to go to 2/7. Don't want to make his hair too dark. And then we'll go in with the 3/5. Okay. I think I like that. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Okay. Okay, so let's try. I'm going to go in with the E49 on the next bit. I'm going to go in with the dark color first. I'm going to do this section of his head now. We'll save that little swoosh on his forehead for later. So that was 4/9. Now I'm going to go in with 5/7. I'm just doing my little flicks. And I am going to go, I'm going to skip the E4-7 and go to E2-7. And then E3-5. Yeah, I like how that looks much better. Okay, so I'm going to go back. I like how this turned out, so we know that works. I'm going to go back to the E4-9 now. I'm going to add more of that. Then E5-7. It's E-quad, his nose. Kevin was saying, and thinks I forgot to color his nose. It does look very light on here, but it is colored. Open your eyes, Anne. I'm going to go E4-7. And E3-5. There, I like that better. But to appease everyone, just so you know, his nose is colored. We'll go over it. Oh, and you know what would be really cute? Let's do, I'm going to pick up, to give him a little bit of a rosy nose. Sorry, I'm like all over. So I have just this piece of plastic. I'm going to pick up using the E_0 and R20. And we'll give him just a bit of a rosy nose. It's not super showing, but I'm going to add just a bit at the end of his nose. And I'm going to pick up. There, I like that. Look at how cute that is. Okay, and just don't forget to clean off your marker nib if you do that. Who didn't grow up loving Slimer? I loved Slimer. Okay. Back to here. Sorry, I am like a ping pong ball going everywhere today. E4-9. And just doing my flicks. Talking about growing up, I did love Ghostbusters. I feel like, was there a Ghostbusters animated show? There was, I'm pretty sure. And I know yes, there was, because I watched it all the time, and I had the action figures. I'm not just imagining that, am I? So E5-7. We'll go E4-7. But I also remember I was a huge, like my parents took me to Florida every summer. We would drive from Canada to Florida, and I know we did Universal. I think it was the year it opened, and there was like a Ghostbuster attraction there. Yes, you can do tip to tip as well, Valerie. Absolutely. Okay, and I'm just going to use E27 just to add a few lines. Now I want ecto-cooler Kool-Aid. Yeah, see, Joyce, you remember there was a cartoon too. Okay, E49. I've been watching on YouTube these like shows of like the 90s and stuff like that, and there are so many I forgot about. Yeah, it was only when I just literally when I mentioned it about the cartoon. I haven't thought about that cartoon in ages. E49, E57. E47, which I think might be a bit overkill using all these colors, but whatevs. And I'm just going to go in with the 3-5 next. Okay. We have a guy near us that has an Ecto 1 car, which he uses for parties. I can't remember, Karen, I went to Fan Expo. It was one of the years they had the Ecto car there. And I don't know if it was the one that was used in the movie or not, but it was there. I'm going to go R20. Right? I am just looking under his nose and glasses. I want to add a bit of a cast shadow. Just wanting to build up a bit more now. I'm going to go around his hairline again. And just soften right here. I don't like what I did. Just soften that. Okay. Right. So let's get on to his suit. I am thinking they kind of had like brown suits, right? I think I'm gonna go with my warm grays. So let's do. I'm gonna grab my W7, 5, 3, and 1 in my warm grays. W7, 5. There's 1 and 3. All right. Janice said yes, brown. Oops, what happened? So, I'm back. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Is it better if I don't have the picture in the corner? Let me know. W7. We're going to start and we're going to do the pant leg, start with the pant leg. And I'm just kind of following folds. Sorry, there we go. So W7. W5. I'm going to go to W3 next. And then W1. And I'm just going to go back in with my W7, just kick up some of the lines just a bit, the value of the shading. So it's W7. I'm going to go in with W3. Okay. Can you bring the image closer to the lines? I don't know if I can much because then I won't have room, let's see, to get my marker under. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Unfortunately, I can't. So W7. Again. Um, W5. Oh, sure, I can do that. Absolutely. When he's done coloring, I'll do a close-up. Okay. W3. And W1. I'm just pushing into the dark. And then I'm going to go in. I'm going to pull W8, I think. And I'm going to just go in on the dark patches. Okay. And we'll go to W5. So I'll show you where we're at so far. Here is our guy. And I think I want to pull in some browns, I think, for his boots. So I think what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to switch to the, let's just stick with the warm grays. It's going to look weird at first. So I'm going to go in with W8. I'm going to go to my 5 next. And I colored outside the line, which I'm just going to push that back in. I think my marker is actually dry. Thanks, Gianna. And we'll go in with W1 on his boots. And then I'm going to pull a brown. Let's do E. Let's see what happens if we do E35. No, I think that's too, I'm going to go E53. If I can find my E53. Just going to go over top. Just to give it kind of a W3. Maybe I could do a bit of the E35. Yeah, so I'm going to do E35 and E53 to go over top of those warm grays. All right. And I'm going to just move this down. There we go. And let's do the E35 for his belt. And I'm going to use the warm grays again to shade. So I'm going to go to W5. And W7 in the corner. And then the E35 again. Okay. And we'll do the same for the straps on his backpack. So W7. W5. And E35. I'm just fussing with his boots again. So that was E35, E53. Okay. All right. And for his shirt, I'm just going to grab a N1 because that's the marker that's closest to me. And then use my colorless blender. Valerie, did you use the warm gray to shade instead of the E marker? Yes. So that is a nice little tip. I should have explained that. So just say you know, many of us don't have all of the Copic markers. So what you can do is yellow, for instance, you just got to think, is my color a warm or a cool color? If it's a warm color, you can shade with your warm grays and then do a wash over top of it in your final color. If it's a cool color, do your cool grays, same thing. So blues are a cool color, use your cool grays. Yellows are a warm color, use your warm grays. That makes yeah, so that's kind of why I did that. Sometimes it's just easier, quicker, and certain colors like the RVs are not the greatest to blend. They can be a bit more trickier. So you can RVs, those would be a warm color. Some of them might be a bit of a cool color, depending, because they do have the violet in them. But I would probably, with the RVs, use my warm grays for the darker RVs and my cool grays for the lighter or the real light colors. All right. Um, well, you know, and maybe I'll show you the technique on Slimer, although I'd be using my yellow greens with him, but we'll do it for fun. Yellow greens are amazing for blending, but we'll do the warm grays on Slimer and then do a wash over top. We'll see how that works if you want, or you know, just let me know either way. So I'm gonna go to my cool grays for what is this thing called again? I can't think of the name that captures the spirits. Okay, I'm gonna use C7, 5, and 3. Um, and I'm just gonna go kind of here and there. See, so C7, C5, and C3. Yes, YGs are Anne's absolute favorites. Okay. I'm just going to pull a random. I got YR09. We'll put that on here. And we'll just pull a green. Because I don't know, we've caught the ghost, so now we'll do that. Okay. Oh yes, there is a lot of YGs. I saw that list, Valerie, for the retreat. All right. So let's do Slimer next. And a proton pack. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, the proton pack. Let's do Slimer and we'll do the warm gray. So let's start. Yeah, green is a warm color. Okay, so I'm gonna grab some warm grays. So we'll do C5. Yeah, C5, C3, and C1. C5. And I'm just going to start. It's sort of like underpainting, right, Anne? That's what we call it, underpainting. What we're doing now. So this is C5. Then I'm going to go in with C3. And C1. And then we'll pick our YGs to go over top, but I want to do one more layer. So C5. C3. C1. Okay, let's pick some Slimer colors. So I want to do, well, YG03, we're going to do that. So we'll just do a wash of YG03 and see what happens. But I have a feeling we'll have to go in with some other colors. But YG03, so you can see we've kind of done our shading beforehand. And then we get the shading with the, just putting a flat coat. But that, I want to kick this up a notch. So I'm going to go in with G28 and G07. If I can find my G07. And then YG25. And then the YG03. So this is what I would normally do. So G28. So I'm going to go under his neck because there'd be a cast shadow. Just going at the edges, it's going to be darker. G07. Yeah, so it's a nice little trick, using the warm or cool grays. I find it more effective with the earth tone markers. Sometimes the Ys and the violets it works really well with. So this is G07, YG25. And YG03. Okay. Let's see what it looks like if we just do it without the cool grays. Oh my God, this marker is disgusting. Okay. Okay, so for his face, well, why don't we do his arms first? So G28. I am a layer fiend, Trey, and there's people that are even more so than me. Today, I don't feel like I'm as bad as I normally am, but I love my blending. Okay, this is YG25. I'm going to carry that YG25 in the palms of his hands, and then go to YG03. So these are almost a bit too similar. I'm going to go in, this is YG03. I'm going to go in with YG25 again. Nope, not dark enough. Let's do some tip to tip. So I'm going to use, actually, you know what? G07. I'm going to go in. And then blend out with the YG03. Okay, all right, to his head. G28. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. G28. And says you can do skin here with only a few markers, but it won't have the depth or smoothness as it does when you use more. But you can layer a color and then go back with the same. Yes, exactly. The same color and it adds depth too. Yes. Yeah, you can layer upon layer. So Copic markers are transparent. But you can layer on top of it and get a darker shade with some of the lighter ones. Okay. So I'm going in with G07, and I'm leaving this white along the bottom just to give a bit of depth. Going up along the sides of his face. And I think what I'm going to do, I am going to go back to my G28, and we're going to create some whites around his eyes. We'll do the same here. I'm going to go back up with the 28 at the top of his head with a very fine line, and I'm going to do the same at the top of his mouth. So G28, then I'm going to go back with my G07. Build up around those eyes. And And we'll go right under. Okay. Okay, and then now, sorry, my hand is locking up here. Okay, YG25. And I'm going to start to try and blend these two areas. Just working the two colors until they blend and meld. And I'm going to do just along the bottom here. Yes, Anne was saying if you don't have a lot of markers, add colored pencil. And I'm going to show that as soon as we are done coloring in a few moments. We're going to add some colored pencil detail. But you can use it to, like I'd say tonight, I'm not having a strong coloring night, which it happens, where your markers, it's not turning out the way you want. Colored pencils to the rescue. Just coloring in. Boy, he looks kind of goofy, doesn't he? I love it. His little nose. Okay. Let's color in his mouth. So I'm going to go with R5937, and let's do 32 if I can find it. There we go. You're too kind, Betty. So R59, I'm going to do his tongue. 37 is my next color. And 32. These are all the R's. Okay. And I am going to go in with 59 along his gum line. And 57, or sorry, 37 and 32. And then I'm going to go in with the 59 on the inside of his mouth. Three, 7. And we'll do the 3-2 right. Actually, you know what? We'll just do 3-7 right across the board. And then I think for his eyes, I'm just looking at his eyes. I want to color them in the rims with the YGO3. I don't want him to have whites. Yeah, I like that better. And then for his teeth, I'm going to go in with, I'm going to do C3. And I'm going to go in with C0. And then just a little bit of the C3 again. Okay. All right, so we've got our Copic marker coloring done. And like Anne was saying, this is when you can add your details with colored pencils. So I'm going to grab my greens, and I'm going to find a nice dark green. I think we'll go with this one. And I'm going to just sharpen it up because you want a nice sharp tip to your marker colored pencil. I am just going to add some colored pencil detail. And it just kind of adds a little something something. Actually, before I missed a section. So I'm going to use that same colored pencil and just darken some areas and then lighten my pressure. Okay. So that's one way to do it. And then I've shown everyone this technique before, and that's using a white and a black colored pencil. So for instance, I'm going to take a black colored pencil under his neck here. Then I'm going to grab a blending stump that has, I've used, one side is for black, the other side is for flesh color. And then I have my Gamsol and a blending tube. I'm going to just wet the nib of the blending stump. Let's get an area where you can really kind of see it. So right here on his arm, I'm going to draw a black line, and I'm going to pull it out. Let's do right here. So this is a nice way how you can kind of increase the value of your shading. So on days when you're having like a weak coloring day like me, Never fear. The blending stump is here. Doesn't that just really add a little something something? Let's do it on his boots too. Okay. And I want to darken. Let's do his hair. I can show you on his hair. An area if you want to increase value. Okay. I'm going to do just under Slimer's neck. Okay. All right, and I want to add some white details now. So I'm going to use a white colored pencil. Thank you. Thanks so much. Actually, I want to go back with the glasses. I'm going to go in with the blue. And I'm just going to add some white. On the rim, which I don't think this is really going to show up on camera, but I like to do and let's just do we'll whiten some parts on Slimer. Just using the white. Yes, Rand's right. And saying, remember, you can always Gamsol to blend with colored pencils. You can't go over with marker. You know, it gets to a point with markers where it's done. It's taken all it can. The paper can't handle any more ink. I'm going to go in with a white gel pen. Where did I put my white gel pen? Is this my good one? Yeah, okay. So let's add so I'm just using my white gel pen to add my details. I'm going to just go along the bottom of his glasses. maybe a bit at the top. And we'll do the same with Slimer. Okay. All right. So there, we've got our coloring complete. Let me just grab, sorry, this is a long video tonight. I am sorry, guys. Let me see. I think this is the one for him. Yes, it is. Okay, and then this is Slimer. Oh, wait. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Okay, let me just run this through my die cut machine. And I know usually you say yes, but just let me know. Do you want me to turn this into a card, or are you done after watching me yap for an hour and a half? Oh, thanks, Jana. Okay. Okay, I am going to just run this through my die cut machine. Okay. All right, so here is our die cut out images. Adorable. Aw, thanks, Karen. Thank you, guys. All right. Like I said, just going to move these markers out of the way. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to show you creating the background because we've got a class that I will be teaching, showing how to do all of the fun inky backgrounds. So let's just go. So I'm going to zoom this out. These are all my pre-made backgrounds. I made these in 2 sittings, and I've used a chunk of them. But like, here's a background I made. This could be kind of cool to create a card. You know, with maybe something, if I have something green. Oh, this is kind of cool too. This has got some texture paste on it. That's kind of cool. I think that might be a front runner. We're going to have to zhuzh it. Let's see. I've got lots and lots of. Oh, this is kind of cool too. It's got green. So option 1, option 2. Let's see if we can find one more option. Oh, actually, I think I prefer. This is kind of nice too. This is the same as this one, but doesn't have the texture paste on. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to find one more, and then you guys can tell me which one to go with. Oh God, okay, 2 more. Now I found another option here. Okay, I have this. It's all right. I'm gonna put that one back. And I have this. I think I like the greens, pulling in the greens. Okay, so so you're saying option 1, Slimer disappears. So, okay, let's do this. Option 1, option 1A, because these are the same backgrounds. So 1A, this is option 2. And option 3. So let me know. 1A, 2, or 3. I feel like an optometrist. Let me know. I know there's like a 30-second delay. I think this is kind of, my choices are, well, this I'll be doing something on. I could do some purple. I could do some purple distress crayon on this. But everybody's saying 3, 1A or 3. Okay, I think it's 3. Okay, well, before we decide on 3, I'm going to just judge this one out, because I think what's making this one cool is this is bringing in a third color, which these images need, and that's the purple. So I think if we add some purple here, I'm going to try using a distress crayon, and then we can decide. Let me just see if I can find a purple. Do I have a purple? OMG. Oh, well, I have this purple. Here we go. Okay, so this is kind of like a, what is this? Which one? This is Seedless Preserve. So it's kind of like a magenta. Let's just see. Okay, and I just need a wet finger. Okay. I have dancing Halloween set. Oops. Okay. And then I think this needs a little black as well. And then we can decide between the two, although I think I am preferring option 3. But, you know, I needed some inky time. So, and, you know, sometimes backgrounds, you can play and sit with them for a bit until you fall in love with them. Okay. Yeah, definitely it's option 3, I think. Let me just clean my fingies. I think this needs some boundary wax for it to come into fruition. Hold on, I gotta wash my hands or I'm gonna get this all over my image. Okay. Wipe my hands on my pants. All right. So so option 1 or 2. Let me know, students. Again, 1 or 2. I think with this, I'm probably going to cut it down. And this one I'll probably cut down as well. I do like the little bit of white space on this side, so I'd probably, cut this. Maybe I am leaning more towards this one now. I think let's just crop this one down a bit. And okay. I want to keep that white edge. I'm going to cut it from this side a bit. So maybe a little bit more. So if that's 4 1/4, let's do 3 3/4. 3 3/4. And we'll do 4 3/4. Okay. And then I want to put this on a card front. More people are leaning towards option 2. So let's just, we have a nice green. Something like, I think it might be purple is the color. Okay, well, I'm going to cut down both of them, and we'll have 2 options, right? And then we can pick a background card. Okay, so I got to cut. First, I got to see what section do I like. Okay, because I got to figure out where. I think I like when Slimer was kind of. I like this section. So we cut. Yeah, okay. So we're going to have to cut the top and the one side. Okay, so we'll go 4 3/4 and 3 3/4. I think I'm gonna have to take 1/4 of an inch off the other side. And I like to say, I know this seems excessive, I like to save these pieces for making clusters. So maybe when we do our memory decks classes coming up. Okay, I think this one should be a black background. quarter. Okay. Yes, so I've got to take a 1/4 of an inch off of this side to make it, so this is going to put it at 3.5. So I've got to cut this one down to 3.5. And I think we need to mat this as well. Like we could mat that in a little bit of green, or this might even be kind of cool. Here, let me just make that. So this is, how wide is this again? Was it 3.5? 3.5. So let's do this. 3 3/4 by, I might just take okay. So a little border of, and I probably make this a scant smaller. I think we had it like that. So we could have him here and our Slimer. Or we could just do it on, I'm going to make this just a bit smaller on each side. Sorry, guys. Oh, action wobbler. I wonder if I can find my action wobblers. That's a great idea. For Slimer, good idea. Okay, do we think he should be on a black card base, or maybe a gray or a white? Let me just cut down. Here's gray. The gray, I think, looks a bit better, doesn't it? Or do we just do white? And well, okay, so let me know, friends, if we should do one. Do we like this kind of magenta magenta matting? And 2, black, gray, or white? Or if you have any other suggestions. And I'm going to look for an action wobbler. I don't know where they are. Action wobblers. Where would I put action wobblers? Gray. Anne likes white. I know, I have no clue where I put these. Oh wait, are they in here? Where did I put the action wobblers? Guys, I don't think I have action wobblers that I can find. Ooh, but that would have been really cool. So did we decide on a background. So the white, we have 2 for white. We'll go with white. Okay, let's glue this bad boy down. Sorry, friends, this has been like the longest video. Okay, so we have another one for black. We can hold up between white and black. Okay. Okay, let me pull the black. We can see one more time. I literally cannot decide. So there is white. And we'll have a sentiment. So with this, it kind of brings in the white of the border or the die cuts, makes the pop more on the background, I think. It gives a bit of a rest because this is busy. Now let's try this. See, now this is nice too. Oops, why are we on an angle? It's just a bit more heavy, I'd say. Let me know. The countdown is on. We have a couple for the white and I think one for the black. I do like both. I can't decide, friends. While we're doing that, I am going to pop up the background. So now we have 2 for black, 2 for white. The next one makes the deciding factor. Oh, so black, it's black. Karen and Clara, everybody's saying black. So let's pop this on. So glad you guys are here to help me. Melissa's saying black. Yes, true. Betty says it makes it more spooky. The black. Okay. All right. And I think I am going to glue Slimer right on. And I want to pop up Aegon. And then, okay, final question, friends. Pick the sentiment. Do we want, you've got the proton pack to my heart. Thanks for busting in to save the day. Well, totally ectostatic to see you, which I think would work more with the card. Hey Buster, which is more for this guy. Or no, I guess it could be for any of the Ghostbusters because this is the Stay Puff, right? You have a lot of spirit and caution, sweet but destructive. So let me know on the sentiment while I'm popping up Aegon. One right in the bottom of his face here. And or do we just put the sentiment inside the card, which might be something smart. Maybe just add a few sequins. I think that might just be the answer to tonight. Pick a sentiment. I'm going to use some of these. Oh, you know what? Maybe I want. Do I have these guys? I'm going to put some sequins on the front. Okay. So we're going to glue Slimer down. Trey says, I think the second one you read off. Thanks for busting in to save the day. We have one for the, because isn't that what Slimer is, the ecto stuff? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Ectostatic. Where is my picker-upper? Okay. Oh, thanks, Valerie. I don't know what I would have done with it, you guys, because I'm not having a super creative night, so the card turned out better. You like adding it to the inside, Karen? So maybe I'll just put these few little sequins around it. I think we'll go with 5. I need a smaller one, though. So if we have 3, and then put at least this kind of helps glide the eye across. So we'll pop these guys down. That's true, Trey. Okay. Perfect. And yeah, and then we just have to put our card on a card base and stamp our sentiment. So, but I think we're at the 2 hour mark. I'm sure you guys are all sick of me. Here is our card. Do we have any questions before we go? Any suggestions? Any questions about the upcoming class? Let me know. Yeah, another fun how I have made so many Halloween cards this year. And before I go, I have a card I created for the last release that I never even got to share with you guys. We did How to Train Your Dragon theme last week. So here is the card I made. I still haven't photographed it, but I just cut out the word roar, stay strong, fearless, smart, and fearless. It opens up like that. Be the writer of your own story. Yeah. And then here is the stencil from that release. And I also used the stencil with some texture paste on here and some distress crayon. But yeah, there is my toothless. But I've been addicted to flip cards. But yeah, I never got to share this card with you, but I did make a card for last month. But this is using gel plate, all that stuff. Yeah. All right, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in for this extremely long video. I look forward to seeing you guys next month for the release that I hinted about that's amazing. And my class. And Kevin's class, I think, is in 2 weeks, his Halloween class. So thank you guys so much for all your support of Stamp Anything. And stay crafty, stay creative, and we will see you guys soon.